Hello, hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar organized by WeUni in partnership with the University of Essex Online. My name is Carolina, nice to meet you all, and I'll be your host for today's event on behalf of WeUni. I see that the first people are already starting to join us. We are just waiting a couple of minutes before starting to allow everyone to connect. In the meantime, of course, feel free to say hi on our chat here on Zoom and please tell us where you're from, since we are very curious. So, first of all, I want to thank everyone for joining us today and thank our panelists for being here with us today. As you can see here, I'm not alone. I would like to introduce you all to Thomas, Senior Marketing Executive. And also we have with us Tyler, that she's an admission advisor. Sarah, Student Support Advisor, and Lucy, Program Coordinator in Business. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. Today, you are going to explore how Essex Online helps students around the world balancing study, work, and life without compromising on quality. So you're going to also to explore the flexible online degrees, and of course, you'll meet the academic team and get practical tips on applying. So whether you're starting your journey or advancing your career, this session is perfect for you. I would also like to remind you that you'll have the possibility to interact with the speakers and ask them questions. So talking about that, I'd like to remind you that after the presentation, we'll have a Q&A session where you'll be able to ask direct questions to the panelists. So don't be shy and just type all of your questions in the Q&A session, and we'll go through the questions at the end of the webinar here. Also, for those of you interested in receiving a certificate of attendance for this free masterclass, stay tuned because we will post a link to get the certificate at the end of this session. Okay, I see some other people joining. I think that without further ado, I can now leave the floor to Thomas for the presentation. So enjoy this webinar and see you later. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolina, and thank you everyone for joining us today. My name's Tom, and as Carolina said, I work with the University of Essex Online. I'm just going to quickly introduce the speakers and the agenda before we begin. So, again, as Carolina said, we're joined today by Lucy France, who is a program coordinator, Tyler Blackburn, who is a senior admissions advisor, and Sarah Guerin, who is a student support advisor. Onto the agenda, and Lucy will kick things off by taking you through the undergraduate and postgraduate courses we offer with the University of Essex Online. Sarah will then talk you through the student support teams, and then Tyler, will discuss the admissions and enrolment process, and then followed by a Q&A session. So just a bit about the university and why you should study with us. You'll gain a recognised qualification that with a university that is ranked in the top 15 universities in the UK as per the recent Guardian University rankings for 2026. There's an emphasis on the classroom experience with experienced academics who bring real-world perspectives such as working environments. We have programs that focus on employability, equipping students with sector-specific skills and optional modules to allow you to tailor the course to your specialisms. Furthermore, we are rated silver in the Teaching Excellence Framework. We offer an interactive learning platform which is available to students 24/7. We have a cohort of tutors who ensure a quick response to student emails, and there are opportunities for one-to-one sessions with tutors and live Q&A sessions and seminars. All of our programs are 100% online and part-time to fit around your lifestyle, and no in-person attendance is required. And with that, I'll pass over to Lucy to talk about the programs.
That's great, thank you. So, hi everyone, it's really great to see so many of you here today. So, I'm just going to kick off with our undergraduate programs to start with. So, as you can see on the screen, we've got the business department listed here. There are two main pathways with business at undergrad. You can consider the business and management route or the business and marketing route. With the management route, students will explore questions like how does management impact business operations, and they can discuss through different scenarios how management theory is applied in practice. For the marketing pathway, students have the opportunity to address questions like how can marketeers leverage new consumer trends to outperform competitors, or how should business leaders manage resources for success? So two really great options there with business, and then also there's the top-up programme for students that are within that area. Within the computing department, there are 4 undergraduate programmes. So we have our BSc Hons Business and Computing, BSc Hons Computer Science, BSc Hons Cybersecurity, and BSc Hons Data Science. Students on these programmes will develop essential skills such as problem solving and also develop their technical expertise, enabling them to hone knowledge and understanding of the computing sector. And by completing one of these programmes, students can take the first step in defining their career in a really influential and fast evolving sector. Moving on to health, we offer a BSc in healthcare management. Healthcare within the UK specifically is one of the fastest growing sectors, and this programme will really aid students who are looking to establish their career in this sector. This programme, while it is health focused, is varied and can be the first step in a range of career pathways, such as health and social care, community health, public health, holistic therapies, or even in more of a consulting capacity within either sort of private sector businesses or government, either in the UK or internationally. So there's lots of versatility there. So if we just move on to our next slide, and we've got first up law. So we have the LLB Hons Law, which is a single honours, and then we have the LLB Hons with business, criminology or psychology, which are all double honours. The LLB Hons will provide you with a law-specific learning and content, but the double honours take it that step further, and they provide additional learning on specific areas such as business, criminology and psychology. So like in health, there are a range of career pathways that you can pursue when you've secured an LLB. So the most common tend to be pursuing a career as a solicitor, paralegal or a barrister, but you can move into sort of civil service and look at in-house counsel roles. All of our LLBs do enable students to learn about foundational legal knowledge, which can then make students eligible to apply and take the bar practice course and become a barrister, or to take the solicitor's qualifying exam as well. So lots of great options there that open further studies as well. And then finally, we can consider our psychology offering. So for undergraduate, our psychology department offers BSc Hons Psychology, BSc Hons Business Psychology and BSc Hons Criminal Psychology, all of which are accredited by the British Psychologist Society. So this accreditation presents a really wide range of advantages to students. The main things being things like quality assurance with the programme and its content, and also additional credibility and recognition by other institutions and employers. So a really great accreditation for us to hold. Right, if we move to our next slide, we'll look at the postgraduate now. So you'll find that these programmes tend to be slightly more specialised and offer insights into sort of more niche areas of learning and specific subjects and sectors. So if we look at project management first, we offer the MSc Project Management, and this programme focuses on developing strategic thinking, leadership and communication skills, all of which are essential for managing complex projects and teams. You'll explore key areas like project frameworks, financial decision making and portfolio management. And this programme is also accredited. It's by AACSB. So again, offering that assurance in quality of the programme, which is great. And then if we move on to business, there are several postgraduate programmes. So we have our MSc Business Management, Business Analytics, the MSc International Human Resource Management, MSc Global Digital Marketing, MSc Business with Finance, MSc Leadership, and then finally our Master of Business Management. So this selection of programmes are designed to help professionals lead, innovate and grow in today's competitive global business environment. So if we consider the business and management business analytics first, that is a program that will blend core business knowledge with data-driven decision making, and it'll teach you how to collect, to visualize and ethically apply data for strategic advantage. The MSc Business with Finance differs slightly. That would combine financial expertise with business strategy. So to help you understand areas like budgeting, investment and leadership within a more commercial context. And then we move on to programs like our MSc Human Resource International, sorry, got all muddled there in words, International Human Resource Management, which is focusing more on strategic HR practices. Things like diversity and inclusion and leadership development, which is ideal for sort of people management and focused roles. Next, we can cover off the MSc Global Digital Marketing. So that equips you with skills to lead international campaigns, focusing on things like search engine optimization, social media, and also insights into things like consumer behavior and global trade dynamics. And then if we move on to MSc Leadership, which is one of our newer programs, and this really explores the differences between leadership and management. And it helps you to build sustainable business strategies and lead with purpose in a global context. And then finally, to round off business, we've got our Master of Business Management, and this offers a really broad foundation in leadership. So considering topics like marketing, finance, and then the option to tailor to your interests and your aspirations with some optional modules in areas such as HR, strategy and project management. So a bit more of a diverse mix there. And then next we have the supply chain. So this is the MSc Supply Chain Management and Global Logistics. So this is a really dynamic program. It's explores every stage of the supply chain. So from procurement to sustainability, and then AI and big data. So you'll study topics like finance, transport decisions, the impact of sustainability. And this is a really comprehensive program that's designed for future leaders in global trade. And like our MSc Project Management, it also holds an AACSB accreditation, which is a really great advantage. So if we just move to the next slide now, and then we'll consider our computing department. So like you see here, there's several programs, including the MSc Artificial Intelligence, MSc Computer Science, tongue twister, Cybersecurity, MSc Data Science, and then finally our MSc Information Technology Management. So all of these programs are designed to meet the growing demands of tech and business sectors. So if we consider the MSc Information Technology Management, this is great for those people that are looking to combine technical skill with strategic insight, and has a real focus on things like cybersecurity, systems design, and IT service management. Comparison, we have our MSc Artificial Intelligence. That's much more aligned for sort of non-computing graduates or professionals that are really wanting to specialise in AI. So you'll explore machine learning, intelligent agents, and knowledge representation, and you'll also build practical skills such as Python. So that's a really great one for the current climate where it's such a large and topical feature. We move to our MSc Computer Science. This covers everything from sort of cloud operations and object-oriented programming to security and software practices. So a really great foundational knowledge, again, at that higher level. And then comparatively, we have our MSc Cybersecurity. So this aims to equip you with the tools to manage risk, understand human factors, insecurity, and master diagnostic tools. And then finally, within computing, we've got the MSc Data Science, and this is a degree that would open doors to the world of data analytics, machine learning, big data. So it's really ideal for those that are looking to transition into this sort of area of the sector. So moving on, we've then got education. So there are two pathways here. We have the Master of Education and the MSc Digital Education. The Master of Education is designed for teachers, trainers, and tutors from all backgrounds. It really encourages a reflective practice and explores key areas like technology-enhanced learning, educational philosophy, and cognitive science. Similarly, we then have the MSc Digital Education, which has much more of a focus on digital technologies in learning and teaching. So you'll explore sort of cultural and theoretical foundations of modern education and sort of learner-centered support and how AI is a growing tool within the classroom. So it's really ideal for those that are looking to enhance digital teaching skills and take more of a future-proof stance on educational practice. We'll then move on to health, where we have 5 postgraduate programmes. We've got the Master of Public Health, MSc International Healthcare Management, MSc Infection Control, MSc Nursing, and then finally MSc Global Mental Health and Wellbeing. So considering the Master of Public Health, this provides a global perspective on public health challenges. So it would cover things like epidemiology, health promotion, population health assessment. And a great advantage to this programme is that students who complete this would also benefit from a 12-month student membership to the Fellowship of Royal Society for Public Health, which is a fantastic resource for students. So a really great advantage there. Moving on, we then have the MSc International Healthcare Management. So this would equip you with leadership and financial skills to manage healthcare organisations effectively. It has a really strong focus on global systems and ethical decision making. We then move on to the MSc Infection Control, which focuses on reducing the risk of infectious diseases and responding to outbreaks. So you'll study microbiology, epidemiology, and public health strategies. Again, really ideal for those that are looking to take a lead in this field of healthcare. We then have our MSc Nursing, which is tailored for registered nurses that are sort of trying to move into those senior roles and combine their clinical expertise with leadership development. And it does include modules on things like health promotion and infection control. And then finally, within health, we've got the MSc Global Mental Health and Wellbeing, which explores cultural and social factors that influence mental health worldwide and is really ideal for a range of individuals from sort of health, social care, and even HR backgrounds. So a really versatile programme again. So if we move to the next slide for postgraduate, please. So then we've got the criminology department, and they offer an MSc in criminology and criminal psychology. So this programme is really ideal if you're looking to advance your career within policing, probation, or just the wider criminal justice system. The MSc criminology and criminal psychology is a combination of theory and practical insight, and you'll explore topics like forensic psychology, criminological theory, victimology, and the relationship between psychology and the police, which I think will be particularly interesting. The course aims to sharpen skills in critical reasoning, decision making, and leadership. So a really great route for those that are wanting to pursue the sector further. Then we move on to the psychology department, and there are 2 psychology pathways at postgraduate. You've got MSc Psychology and MSc Organisational Psychology. So the MSc Psychology is designed for those without a psychology background, and it explores key theories like human development, neuropsychology, and research methods, and is a great sort of stepping stone into a range of career pathways. The MSc Organisational Psychology is slightly more focused, and it blends psychology with business. So focusing on workplace behaviour, motivation, performance, and HR development. So you'll learn how to apply psychological principles into organisational settings, essentially. And then we move on to law. So our final postgraduate offering, which is the LLM International Business Law. So this is designed for legal professionals looking to specialise, as well as sort of managers and business leaders that want to have a better understanding and navigate international commercial deals. So you'll explore topics like transnational contract law, competition law, and the workings of the World Trade Organization. There are also some optional modules. So again, you have that option to tailor it to your interests and your aspirations. And it's a really great program for those that are wanting to just deepen expertise in international legal frameworks. So really great offering there again. And then if we just move to our last slide, I'll just cover our online professional courses. So these are quick and flexible approaches to studies. So they are CPD accredited. They're completed in as little as 13 weeks, and they're a great resource to be able to fill a knowledge gap, to stay current with industry trends, or if you're just aiming to progress your career and want to finesse your knowledge in a certain area. There are they are recognised in over 100 countries, and there's a full catalogue of courses across all 7 departments. So a range of different topics and areas that you can narrow in on and really develop your learning in that specific area. That's sort of everything that I was going to cover in terms of the course offering. So I'll hand over now to our next speaker to dive into another area. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. Yeah, I'll now be taking you through the different teams who are here to support you throughout your studies. So I'll start with the student support team. So if you want to move on to the next slide. Thank you. Yeah, so the student support team, that is the team that I work in as a student support advisor. We are your main point of contact during your studies, and our role is just to make sure that students feel supported every step of the way during their studies with us, from the moment that they're enrolled all the way through to them completing their final module. We can help with a variety of queries. So it's mainly pastoral support that we can offer, any kind of minor technical troubleshooting, as well as many non-academic queries. So around module scheduling, taking breaks, and just trying to, make the courses flexible and make it work for you as much as we can. We operate Monday to Friday, and students can contact us via phone, email, or live chat during our opening hours, which are also on the screen. We'll now move on to available academic support. So during each module, there is a dedicated module tutor who provides academic support and guidance. And modules can vary sort of anywhere between 9 weeks to 12 weeks, possibly even longer for, dissertation modules and project modules and things. Time period, you will have that dedicated module tutor to support you, and you can interact with them through different means, discussion boards being one of those. So they're essentially like forums. They will hold live Q&A sessions or seminars to go over weekly content and discuss upcoming assignments. And then your tutor also marks the assignments that you do submit, and they provide the feedback. So students can contact their tutors via email at any point during their module to ask questions, and then they can also request an appointment during their office hours as well. We then have the study skills team. So that's another branch within student support, as well as academic support that they offer. So the study skills team helps students to develop their academic skills. They offer a wide range of support, so on different skills such as referencing, academic writing, structure and assignments. There's a whole range of topics that they can support with, and they do have an area, like a dedicated area on the learning platform with all resources that can be accessed 24/7. But they also do offer one-to-one support sessions if you feel you need more tailored support that isn't that you haven't found that support through their resources. So as a new student, students can book in refresher sessions if they've been away from education for a while. They can also book in feedback sessions where you could take your completed assignments and feedback from your tutor and take that to a study skills advisor for further support and clarification and kind of reassurance on where you can make those improvements. And again, the study skills team are available the same way via phone, via email, Monday to Friday as well. Moving on, there is also a dedicated disability and welfare support team. So they provide reasonable adjustments for students with disabilities, as well as resources for wellbeing and mental health. And then there is also dedicated safeguarding officers to ensure student safety and welfare throughout their studies. And finally, the student experience team. This team focuses on making your time as a student at the University of Essex Online enjoyable and rewarding. So the team manage social forums, they'll organise the student council, they also arrange and organise module feedback surveys as well. And then they are responsible for organising graduation ceremonies. So it's always such a lovely celebration of students' hard work once they do complete their course. So that's what they're responsible for. Yeah, thank you for listening. I'll now be passing over to Tyler to discuss the admissions process.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I'm just going to cover the admissions process and what happens if you do decide to apply for one of the mentioned courses. So to begin, you can simply reach out to one of the admissions team to inquire and answer any questions you may have about the course that you may be interested in. If that is a course for you, you can then apply directly through our website. It is completely free to apply. There's no application fee. You will be asked to submit some supporting evidence. So to explain that briefly, that could be a 300 to 500 word personal statement, an official form of ID, so a passport or driving license, an up-to-date CV, and any previous qualifications that you have completed. From there, you may be asked to complete our free online English test, which would be sent to you directly through email. And then from there, we can begin to assess your application. So it is important to mention as well that your application will go to one specific admissions advisor who you will work with from the very beginning up until you are enrolled and through to student support. So once we have your application, we will then begin to process it, and that will be reviewed by us and the academic heads. Within 48 hours, you will have an official outcome with the decision, and we can begin to process your offer letter. So we would contact you directly with the news to confirm a start date and go through any payment methods or student funding applications as well. Next slide, please. So in terms of entry requirements, at undergraduate level, we offer two different entry routes. We have the academic route and the work experience route. So firstly, for the academic route, we do usually ask that you have 3 A levels or equivalent for most of our programs. So this includes psychology, law, health, and computing. And then for our business programs, we do ask that you have 2 A levels or equivalent. If you are unsure about the level equivalency of your qualification, you can simply pop us a message and we can take a further look into that for you. Then if you do not have an academic background, we also do have a work experience entry route available for our students. So we usually do ask that you have GCSE Maths and English at grade C or above, plus 3 years relevant work experience. If for any reason your application is unsuccessful, we do offer the Certificate of Higher Education for all of our undergraduate programmes. This is an open entry route onto the programme, and it's a 60-month qualification at level 4. So upon completion of said qualification, you can progress onto the corresponding programme from level 5, and all of your credits would be transferred over. Just as a last one, if English isn't your first language, we do accept IELTS score of 6 for undergraduate level, but as mentioned earlier, we do offer a free English test as part of the application process as well. Next slide, please. So yeah, we can look into the entry requirements for postgraduate level now. They are slightly different and can vary depending on the course programme. But usually as a standard, we do ask for all of the programmes, if you are applying through the academic entry route, that you have an undergraduate degree from an approved institution equivalent to a UK honours degree or a relevant professional qualification. As mentioned again, we do offer a work experience entry route for all of the programmes. So we do ask that you have at least 3 years relevant work experience in that sector. Again, if English isn't your first language, we do accept IELTS score of 6.5. It is important to note that this must be completed within the last 5 years for us to accept. And again, if you do not have an IELTS score or a similar test, we do offer the free English test available as well. So then, just as a quick one, for the education courses, we do ask that you have access to an educational setting, an official written confirmation as proof. This would be requested from you as part of the admissions process. And for all of the nursing courses we offer at postgraduate level, due to the work-based nature of the programme, all students must be working in a clinical practice as a registered nurse or with a licence to practice as a nurse with a nursing regulator or appropriate licensing board. Next slide, please. So as mentioned, we do offer the online professional courses as well, which are level 7 qualifications worth 20 credits. So you do not need no formal qualifications or experience necessary, but we do again ask if English isn't your first language, that you have an IELTS score of 6.5 or equivalent. Next slide, thank you. So yeah, we can cover the tuition fees in place for our undergraduate programmes for our current 25-26 academic year. As you can see, we have the Cert HE, which as mentioned was a level 4 qualification. For UK and international based students, the current cost of the course is £6,996. For the Business and Management Top-Up Programme, which is the level 7, again, it is £6,996 for UK and international students. And then for your full programmes, full undergraduate programmes, so your LLB or your Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor in Science, it is £20,987 for both UK and international based students. It is important to note that the fees displayed on the website are applicable of any sales tax. However, your admissions advisor would reach out to you with more information regarding that. Moving on to postgraduate, the postgraduate certificate is £4,286 for UK students and £4,476 for international. For the postgraduate diploma, it is £8,572 for UK-based students and £8,952 for international students. And then lastly, for the full master's programmes, it is £12,858 for UK and £13,427 for international students. Next slide, please. And then lastly, we do have the online professional courses mentioned. So for UK-based students, again, in the 25-26 academic year, it's £1,429 for UK students and £1,492 for international students. Next slide, thank you. So as mentioned, different payment methods, discounts and scholarships are available. So more information can be given to you by the admissions team. So we do offer a range of different payment methods for students. So all students will have the option to pay through a monthly instalment plan, or you can pay in full upfront and receive a 5% discount. We do have a designated for undergraduate student loans in England and students who are applying for a full master's programme. We would work with you to complete that application and have your funding secured before you begin studying with us. All students will be eligible for a 21-day money-back guarantee. So if you do decide to study with us but decide to withdraw from the programme within the first 21 days, you will be given a full refund. We do offer a range of different discounts. So we have the 10% alumni discount for anyone who has studied with us. This could be with University of Essex Online previously, if you are going from undergraduate to postgraduate study, or if you have studied on campus at the University of Essex, you'll also be eligible for the 10% alumni discount. We do have regional-based scholarships up to 20%, and if you are unsure on whether you would be eligible or not, simply reach out to the admissions team and they can confirm that scholarship amount for that region. Lastly, we do have a range of course scholarships of 10% for our January intake, which is coming up, and following on for the following April one as well. It will depend on the programme itself. So again, do reach out to the admissions team and we will be able to confirm to you directly what scholarships are available for you. Next slide, please. So as mentioned, here are our upcoming intakes for the 25-26 academic year. So the next intake for our undergraduate and postgraduate programmes is 13th of January 2026. And for our online professional course, this would be the 20th of January, again, 2026. We do advise submitting applications as soon as possible so we can process them before the Christmas break. Following on from that, for undergraduate, we also have the 17th of March 2026 and the 26th of May 2026. For postgraduate, we have the 14th of April and the 14th of July. And then lastly, for the online professional courses, we also have the 21st of April and the 21st of July as well. The enrolment deadline for all of the course start dates is always 5 days before the course programme is due to start. Next slide, please. So yeah, the next steps, if you are interested in moving forward, would be to apply directly through our website. You can find that at online.essex.ac.uk/apply, and we would ask for the documents on screen. Additional documents may be requested later. This could include a reference or supporting evidence. Next slide, thank you. And back to Tom. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler, and thank you, Sarah and Lucy as well for taking the time to present to us today. I've seen we've had a few questions, so I believe it's over to you, Carolina.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for the really interesting presentation. We have received so many useful information, I think, today. Actually, I see some questions in the box, so I think that we can proceed with the first one. That is, hi, will the student have access to the same resources and services like a career service, even if it is an online degree?
Yes, so I'm happy to take that. You absolutely will. We have the same teams and resources available as you would in an on-campus institution. We have a study skills team who are on hand to assist with things like queries on referencing and sort of assessment specific skills, and they're there to offer one-to-one support or resources to help you. And there's also a full range of career guidance as well for those that are looking to complete the course, for those looking to pursue careers once they've completed the course. So there's no disadvantage to securing an online degree as opposed to being in a traditional campus-based university.
Thank you so much. The next one is about the program in data science. For data science, how is the program structured? Do students have access to online classes that can be taken anytime, or is there a time to work together on projects?
Yeah, I'm happy to take this one. And this answer pretty much applies to all of the programs and courses as far as I'm aware. The programs are designed to be very flexible and allow students to study at any time that works for them. It does take into account different work commitments, different time zones. So it's very rare that you'll need to be logged on to the learning platform at a specific time. There are those live sessions that are held by your tutor, but again, they're not mandatory because we understand that not everyone can join them at the same time. So they're all recorded and they can be watched back.
Yes, and talking about that, I see another questions about the session that are there any compulsory live sessions or are all lectures asynchronous?
Yeah, so the lectures are asynchronous. They're all of the module content is available to you on day one of the module. So you can work through that at your own pace, just taking into account your assignment deadlines because you do have to make sure you're meeting them on time. However, yeah, those live sessions, if you can't join them live, you can just watch the recordings back.
Thank you so much. And talking about the application, what is the average time to receive an application decision?
Yeah, I can take that. So usually once we have the application and all supporting evidence, we will aim to get back to you within the following 48 hours and we can send your offer letter once we have your confirmed start date and payment method.
Thank you. And do you have any advice for the students that are going to present an application? For example, if they have to submit a cover letter or any references or something similar?
Yeah, don't overthink it. Keep it quite simple. What we look for is why you have chosen to study that program, your interest into that program, and why you have chosen to study online.
Thank you so much. And another question is about the professional experience. Are professional experience applicants considered without a bachelor degrees?
Yeah, definitely. So we always look at applications who do not have that academic background. So we would take a look at your CV, which is why we request it, and we ourselves would take a look and see what relevant experience we can find. So if it's postgraduate level, we usually look for 3 years relevant work experience in that sector, and we may request a reference, but we would work with you to see which reference would be best obtainable for your best chance of success onto the programme.
Thank you so much. And is there a way to connect students in the same geographical region for local networking?
So students have access to different discussion forums. So some of these are informal forums that can connect you. Yeah, you can use these to let other students know where you are in the world and connect with other students in the same sort of region as you. Other things can be based on sort of your hobbies and interests. So there are all different forums for those purposes, as well as forums for the certain department that you're under. So, health education, for example, and then also forums in each particular module that you're working in as well. So there's lots of ways that you can connect with other students. And yeah, they're all sort of split into different categories.
Thanks. And about the credits, a student is asking if he or she can transfer the credits from prior qualifications to reduce the course load or duration.
Yeah, so students can apply for what we call it as recognition of prior learning. So if you have studied at university level without completing the full qualification before, and you have studied within the last 5 years, but you want to transfer those credits, we can look into that for you. So we would request an official transcript and learning outcomes for all of the modules you have completed, and we would submit that for review to best advise if those credits can be transferred.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And about the English requirements, what specific requirements are needed for the masters?
So for English-based requirements, so just to give you an example, if you have completed an undergraduate in English, or if you are from one of the countries listed, then you would be exempt. So if you are a UK national, for example, or if you have studied in Australia, America, different places as well, we can give you a better understanding of that. You would not be asked to complete the English language test. However, if English is not your first language, we would ask you to complete the free English test. This would test your grammar skills, your listening skills, as well as your reading skills in English. And for postgraduate level, we would ask for a score of around 6.5 IELTS.
Thank you. And do you think there is an option to transfer between programs, for example, from a masterclass to another courses if my circumstances change?
Yep, so I can answer that. Yeah, there is scope to move across departments and to transfer programs, but it would be at the discretion of the academic team to ensure that you had the relevant experience to handle the content within that course. So it would be case by case basis, but there is an option for that.
Amazing, thank you. And another question is about the cybersecurity course. How is the practical component delivered for cybersecurity?
So the cybersecurity course, with it falling within our computing department, I wouldn't have an exact answer at this moment. It's something that I would most likely need to clarify directly with computing and get back to you. So if we're able to share your details, if you'd like to leave your email, I'd be more than happy to find that out and get back to you.
Thank you so much. And I see some questions about the scholarships. I don't know if you want to make a quick recap about that.
Yes, so we do currently offer regional-based and course-based scholarships. So I can see your question was referencing the Master of Public Health. So for the upcoming January intake, there is a 10% scholarship discount available to all students who do wish to study the full Master of Public Health course. But again, regional-based scholarships are available. So if you are, for example, currently living in a country in Africa, you would be eligible for a 20% scholarship discount. But this could vary depending on where you currently live or the course you decide to study.
Thank you. Another question is about the final dissertation. Do all the master programs require a final dissertation, or are there project-based options?
Yeah, sure. So the majority of our programs do require students to engage within a project module, and that typically can be a dissertation, but the onus is on the student for them to devise a project that suits their aspirations and the learning that they've undertaken. So at the point a student would engage with that, they would work with their supervisor to define what their project would be.
Thank you. And I see a question from a student, Samuel, that is asking, can a first degree mechanical engineering student be allowed to undertake any of the master courses in computer science?
So when we typically review an application, if it's relating to computer science, we don't tend to ask for the student to have a background in that subject. So we do welcome students without any previous academic background or work experience, as long as they have an undergraduate degree equivalent to a bachelor with honours.
Amazing, thank you. I also see a question from a student in the chat. This is asking for student funding application for the online certification of higher education courses. Can you give me some more detail, please?
Yes, so students who do live in England will have the opportunity to apply for funding through Student Finance England for our Cert HE programme if they wish. If they do have an equal level qualification, so if they do already have a level 4 qualification, it may make them ineligible for funding through Student Finance, but we would also always best advise what funding they could be available for and give them the options of supporting them with the application process of funding.
Perfect, thank you so much. And I see a last question, I think, that is, how is the final degree ceremony managed for online distance learning students?
So all students are invited to an in-person graduation ceremony on campus in Colchester. So we normally have at least one graduation ceremony per year, if not two. And depending on which one you're invited to, our graduation team will reach out to you to invite you and give you all of the information of how to attend. But you don't have to attend it in order to complete your course, and you can still just receive your certificate in the post, and if you're not able to make it to Colchester.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I don't see any other questions in the chat, but of course, I would like to remind you that in the next few days, you will receive an email with the recording of this session that we will post it on YouTube. So if you have missed anything, or if you want to watch the webinar to take some more information, you can do it. And also you will receive the contact from the University of Essex Online, so that you can contact them and make all the questions that maybe pop up in your mind later. And also, if you want to receive the certificate of attendance for this masterclass, you can click on the link that I'm sending in the chat right now and request it. So thank you so much for being with us today. Thank to all the panelists. I don't know if you want to leave our students with a message or a suggestion, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I think just a message of hope and good luck for anyone that's looking to pursue further studies. We very much hope that you come join us. It's a really great community and way of securing further qualifications in a flexible and reactive way to your own commitments. So hopefully we'll get to see some of you join us there, or if not now, hopefully in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us. Thanks to all the panelists for the really useful information that you shared with us today. Thank you again. And of course, I hope to see you again in the next webinar organized by WeUni. Have a nice rest of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye.